Hey everyone, welcome to MNRDev. This is Mack, and we're going to take a look at useEffect here. And as you know, I'm trying to master React, and at its core are React hooks. React hooks are, React special functions, right? So useEffect is one of those special functions, and it's a side effect that helps us connect to external systems with React. You can connect, you can fetch data with the useEffect. You can connect to WebSockets or connect to the DOM or manipulate the DOM, which is a useful tool in front-end development. So as you can see here, we're calling useEffect at the top level and handling it not in our JSX, but again at the top level. So in useEffect, we actually don't use square brackets. We use the curly brackets in our setup function. And our setup function is where we handle all the logic that's going to be fetching the data or handling any changes after our component mounts. And we control useEffect from not deploying after every render by adding this dependency array here. And this dependency array here monitors any changes with any values that we add here to this array. So if I were to bring in props here into this dependency, the dependency is going to monitor any changes to props and initiate this useEffect function, hook, I should say. And a perfect example that I use useEffect is, like I mentioned earlier, fetch data. In this component here, the blog JSX component. Here in this blog post component, I am fetching data using their useEffect from this Moxios adapter, which is a mock data generator. And basically it gives me fake routes to pretend that I have an API that I'm fetching data from, but it's just another file in my project, and I can update the state with the logic here in our setup function. Now this return statement here allows us to do what is called a cleanup function. This return statement here allows us to run a cleanup function with our useEffect. And cleanup functions will run before your setup functions, before your components mount, or just before your components mount. So it'll run this cleanup function and then run that setup function. And a good example here is that I have with this component, which is our app.jsx component, and I'm using useEffect to listen for the window object in our DOM, adding an event listener for any pointers, etc. And as you can see here, we have a return function with an empty arrow function, our return statement with an arrow function, and it removes the listener, which is a good scenario to use the cleanup function in. And that is an overview of how useEffect comes in handy with our React components. And if you want to know more, leave a comment below with any suggestions or learning tips are always appreciated. Thank you.